Bir kere hani çok değişik, hani biz normal insanların, tabii bizim gözlerimiz kapalıdır. Hani gözlerini, ağzını, burnunu incelerken çok tuhafıma gitti. Görme engelliler için arkadaşlarının yüzüne dokunmak. Ablamın yıllığı, işte kuzenlerimin yıllıkları. Hep onlar bakarlardı. Hiçbir şey anlamazdım. Şimdi kendi yıllığım oldu. Ben de okuyup ben de bakacağım. Ben de arkadaşlarımın yüzlerini hatırlayacağım. Artık benim de bir yıllığım var.
Hemen sonra Illinois Üniversitesi'nden bir akademisyenden ben bir mail aldım.
I received a mail from an academic from Illinois University. That academic was having his PhD and he wanted to show this video to his undergraduate students. It is good to write this story, but as a journalist, this kind of feedback are more important. Social media is in our life for a decade, but such kind of videos are in our life much more frequently for the last 2 years. Hello, my name is Oktay. We work in Jazeera, Turkey. This video was taken by a smartphone only. And as you know, in the year 2014, social media started to function as a storytelling technique. The content is very familiar for the entire world, but in Turkey, the mainstream media and NGOs are new to this kind of content. Yes, we have our presentation on the screen now. Social video, as you know, it is a text, and behind the text there is a music in the background, or it can be a narrative, and it is an intensive content, and you try to convey that content to the users in an intensive manner. For 1.5 years, we are using this technique in Turkey, and thanks to these kind of social videos, we have had the chance to reach out masses. Our news were watched by millions of people. Some of our stories are on the screen. Probably you've seen them, and we made positive impact on the lives of people about whom we created these stories. And after these news, to help these people, many people came together voluntarily, and they organized campaigns, they visited them, and they helped mobilizing institutions. And as an example, Mehmet Kadir Karamanlı, he was collecting waste paper on a New Year night, which was his birthday actually, and a group of people came together to celebrate his birthday, and they brought a birthday cake to him. And there was another lady who lost her 2 legs amputated, and after our news story, she had received some prosthesis legs, and there was a train conductor, and he was complaining about some drivers of the locomotives who were not saluting him. And after this news, machinists started to salute him. And actually, you don't need to be a large part of the media to produce this content, because it's only a smartphone with a video editing software. The content creation, Başak will talk about this. We are using the smartphones. For example, with that very video, I used my own iPhone 6 Plus. And I have been working as a journalist for many years, but with your smartphone, you are on your own in the field. Of course, I'm using a tripod and a microphone, but in iPhone 6 Plus, there's an application which is helping you for professional shootouts. For focus and diaphragm, it facilitates you. You don't need to be a professional cameraman. You can produce your own visual content. And so far in Al Jazeera Turk, I am shooting my own news stories with that iPhone 6, and I'm working on my own in the field and trying to collect some human stories. Actually, these are the stories which we encounter every day, but we do not dig in for whys and wheres. And actually, we have to focus on what people do not see, not on the things everybody sees. As you know, the news is in the details, and once you grasp that detail, you make a difference. There was a woman in red a couple of minutes ago. Is there anybody from Konya? Yes, there is. Sultan Özcan, Kayalı Park, women in red. Everybody was considering her as a lunatic. And I spent 3 days there, and she was wearing in red, and her lipstick was in red. And after 3 days, she started to tell the things to me. Everybody was considering her as a lunatic person. Actually, she was not. She was a victim of domestic violence, and she was dumped by her husband because she was not able to have a child. And once you dig in these human stories, you come to a very certain, very different point. What matters is that you have to combine the power of the story with the power of the narrative. Thank you. And media and NGOs should do something in order to disseminate this kind of content in Turkey. There are lots of things to do. I'm talking about the non-profit NGOs because, as you know, social media platforms are becoming more profit organizations day by day, and actually this is the economy. If you do not have a marketing budget, then these platforms, on these platforms, it is very difficult for you to grow and reach out millions of people. There are some businesses which are reaching out millions, but they have their own facilities. But what is the most important thing here? It is the cooperation between the NGOs and media. Maybe we do not have so many examples in Turkey, but there are lots of examples all around the world. It facilitates transfer of technical knowledge between institutions, and there can be an organic growth and development in social media, and the impact created is increased, is lifted. And Jana Jihad is the name of this young girl. She lives in West Bank in Palestine, and she considers herself as a journalist, and she creates the content in Facebook, and there were 30,000 followers in her page, and we created a social video thanks to the content she produced in her Facebook account. And once we produced the social video, the number of her followers started to increase more than 200,000. And this is a 100-page report by UNICEF, and it is impossible for you to pass that report to millions. But UNICEF conducts some video interviews with a couple of children, and these videos are limited to 3 minutes, and then it reaches out to millions. Maybe it's not the entire survey, but it raises awareness about the very existence of the report, and people can use that video as a reference to step forward to the rest of the report. Thank you so much. We still have 20 seconds. I'm a moderator who is late. It was due to traffic, but traffic of human beings in the foyer area. There are lots of ideas here. We are talking about social media and journalism. Last year, Reuters conducted a training, and maybe Al Jazeera can create and conduct a training for the perspective of social media. There are many companies here because idemahaber.com is the name of our webpage, which is all about news concerning development in the world. And we have lots of things to learn from the newsmakers, and it would be important to learn it as a catalyst in our work. Thank you so much. I was just announcing Ali Ercan. Ali Ercan is our moderator, but we lost him in the hall. We have the second panel now. You will moderate that panel, but after